It was June 30th, 2013 that 19 firefighters, Hotshots, lost their lives in Yarnell, Arizona, which is only 35 miles south of Prescott, where we are right now today. This tragedy happened a little bit over 7 years ago. Being a mother myself, I can't imagine losing a child, especially under these circumstances. Joining us today is mother of Andrew Ashcraft, a Granite Mountain hotshot who passed on that tragic day. Good morning, Deborah.
Hi.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Deborah Pfingston is the mother of Andrew Ashcraft, who was tragically killed that day.
Yes. Andrew lost his life with 19 other of the Granite Mountain hotshot crew. There was one survivor, Brendan McDonough. And it was a terrible day, not only for the 19 families, lot affected, from children to wives to parents to friends, brothers, sisters, but also a community.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, being in this community, I feel like there's a tapestry between all of us here in Prescott.
Yes.
It really is everybody's hometown. You and I were actually in graduate school
Yes.
years and years and years
As I
ago.
said, I'm here visiting a college friend. What the heck?
Right, but it's so interesting. I only had one child at that time.
Little.
And I've since had my son after that. I had an Andrew myself, but I'll never forget in my classes with you, your two boys were younger. They were in elementary school, I believe,
Yes.
and you had an Andrew, and I always loved that name.
Yes.
And I always remember you saying, he's not Andy, he's not Drew, he's Andrew.
That's right. Strong.
Strong.
Andrew means strong.
Yeah.
I almost didn't name him Andrew because I didn't care for if it's Andy, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
or Drew, I just liked Andrew.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because it only takes a couple of times to correct people. No, it's Andrew.
Right.
Oh, it's Andrew.
Yeah.
And
And it is such a strong name, and you are such a strong woman. Most of us, none of us want to go through that, losing a
No.
child before ourselves, right?
No.
So take us from that day 7 years ago up until now. You've come a long way.
Only by the grace of God. That day was horrific on so many levels and so many facets. And so I can only share a little bit of mine. It doesn't go across the board. Everybody is a little different. Everybody mourns differently. I can just tell you the moment I heard that was very complicated itself. I was on the phone, we were driving. I asked if Andrew was fine, and I was talking to Julianne's father. Julianne was Andrew's wife, and I just asked if Andrew was okay, and he said no. At that moment, I felt my heart rip. I physically felt my heart ripping, and as I was feeling this pain, I could hear someone screaming, and I realized it was me. I was screaming. It's just so surreal.
You leave your body.
You do. It's just, and then you are moving through. And I was blessed with the fact that Andrew knew I loved him. I knew that Andrew loved me. I was blessed. His wife, Julianne, is probably one of the most amazing women I have ever met in my life.
Wow.
And her and I are still very, very close. We text every morning. We talk every morning. As a matter of fact, I'm flying up this Friday to see her and the kids.
Andrew has to be so grateful watching down, seeing the closeness and that legacy's living on.
I'm sure he does. I'm
Yeah.
sure, I know that he is, I believe he is in heaven. Thankfully, both Julianne and I have faith.
Yeah.
And I know that.
Yeah.
One of the first questions I'm going to ask God when I walk is like, excuse me, that was miserable. Why?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Here you are 7 years later. I would imagine the grief never fully goes away. That's a hole in
No.
your heart you live with forever.
No.
Does it ease up? I mean, there's people out there right now that are maybe have lost a child, and they don't know where to go, who to turn to. It's people like you, unfortunately and fortunately, that have gone ahead of people that give people hope.
Well, I don't know how anybody does it without faith. So I always would drive somebody to find that faith, find that belief, that goodness. Other people helped me through. Yes, you do have to live with that hole. You have to wake up. I wake up every morning, I think of Andrew.
Sure.
Then I get up out of bed and I move on. A really wise woman, Jill Potter, told me, you get up, you put your feet on the ground, and you live life. Andrew wanted to be a better human being. He had the Be Better band. to be better husband, father. I want to be a better human being for him.
I love that.
Someday I will see him.
Yep.
And I'll hear his yellow. He never said hello. I will hear his laugh. I will feel his hug, and I will see his smile. I'm sad I don't have it now. My heart breaks more that his children don't feel those hugs that were amazing. But as I tell them, if they say, I miss my dad, I'll say, he's with you.
Yeah. And he's with you he's with them through you.
Well, and we talk about him. I love to hear stories. His friends still call me. They show up on my porch. I'm close to a lot of them. And the sheer fact I have them to help me through is great.
Deborah Pfingston, thank you so much for sharing your
Oh my
journey
gosh,
and sharing all this about us. There's so many more, things that we could talk about doing this, but
Yeah.
I think you definitely inspire people out there that may be going through this right now. Quickly,
Yes.
Where can we find you in your podcast?
I do have a podcast, Penny University. We're on 9 platforms, or just Facebook, Penny University, and listen to A Torn Heart. That's very good for anybody that has lost a child. And also check out Our Investigation, Our Truth, what I believe is the truth at what happened in Yarnell. And thank you for this opportunity.
And thank you for sharing your story with
You're
us.
welcome. College bud.
I know, goodness. I'm sorry we have to meet under these conditions
I know,
again,
I
but
know.
thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
And thank you for joining us here on the AZ Daily Mix. We'll be right back after the break.